Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. It's another warm day today, but it's the last one we're going to get, I think. I think it's going to drop down to about 68 or 70 degrees over the weekend. But I thought I'd just give you an update on the Fragmapediums. Some are doing very well, others are doing nothing at all, and some are a bit disappointing, like this Andean fire in front of you. It's flowered beautifully over the years. I've took a few divisions of it and given them to people, or sold them to people, but this time it's put a spike up. Look at the thickness of that. That's terrible. Tiny little bud on top as well. I know it's showing the red coloration because that's a cross between Bessie and Lindleyanum. So I don't know whether to cut this off or let it flower or what to do. I said that before. I mean, it's flowered a few times, but never as badly as this one. So I don't know why that's come about. Now, this is what they call a primary hybrid because it was derived from two species. And these days, you know how people or breeders mess around with their plants. This has been crossed back to Bessie. So this is a Bessie cross Lindleyanum back to Bessie. No, it's not. Well, since the Bessie was discovered, it's derived a lot of very, very nice plants from the Bessie, you know, hybridising it with other species and one thing and another. And this one, which as I said before is a cross between Bessie and Lindleyanum, it's been crossed back to Bessie. And instead of it being Andean fire, it is now Inca fire. So there's a lot of people doing that with the plants these days. And I must say, it does make the plants a lot more colourful. So that's the progress or non-progress of the Andean fire. Now this is another Fragmapedium which has been hybridised time and time again. This is a 7-growth plant of Fritzschomburg. It's crossed between Cavacii and Bessie again. They've crossed it once again back to Bessie, and it is now Robert Yanqueni, which is a much smaller plant and much more flatter flower, because the Cavacii on the Fritzschomburg does tend to reflex a little bit. But it's a much smaller plant once it's been crossed back, and I think much more beautiful. So that is a Fritzschomburg. Now this is a Grande, Phragmipedium Grande, and that's a cross between Longifolium and I've just forgotten one. Oh, Caudatum cross Longifolium. That's what it is. You know, I do keep forgetting these crosses. There's so many of them, isn't there? This is a 4 growth plant, and you can see the little ones coming up there, growing very nicely. I think I showed you before when they were a lot smaller. And this is a nice spike on it now, and it's just starting to bud up. There's the bud, and there will be another one in there. Yes, there is. So I'm very pleased with that one. That's the Fragmipedium Grande. I've also got another Grande which I'll show you now with 2 spikes on. Now this is the other Grande with 2 spikes on. And you can see it's just going to start opening one bud. It's starting there, and it's got another 2 buds on top here. One there and one still in the in what they call a sheath there. So this is beautiful. You know, these grow very, very long petals. These here at the side, which if you let them grow normally without propping them up, they'll grow and grow and grow until they touch the ground. So they can be up to 70, 75, 80 centimetres long. and they make a really nice show when they're like that. So I'm going to let this hang a little bit instead of propping it up, which I normally would do, like so, which a lot of people think looks better, but I'm just letting it go naturally, just to see how it looks. Yeah, I said this is Caudatum cross longifolium, didn't I? Now there's another Caudatum cross longifolium, and it's called Leslie Grey. And it's exactly the same breed as this one, but they say it's a much lighter coloured one. Now I don't understand these forms of crosses, where the blooms of hybrids don't always seem the same, and they're never true to form. So how can you give the same cross two different names? Do you know, it's no wonder we get confused from time to time, is it? But let's see if we can have a look in this, if I can just lift the dorsal up a little bit. No, that one's still stuck to it, but we can soon relieve that. And there you can see it a bit underneath. So they're really beautiful when they come out. It will be really nice when all three of them are out. That's Fragmipedium grande. Now we have another one coming into bud here, which is Fragmipedium Verenas, cross between Cavacii and Sargentianum. Now these can get very big plants. Now look at the thickness of this this spike. It's almost as thick as my little finger. Absolutely beautiful. And that's coming up. I don't know how many buds it'll have yet. Maybe two, maybe just one. But these can be really, really nice. The colour of the blooms, you don't get much colour from the Cavacii, but they do get the size and the shape. No, they don't get the shape. They just get the size of the Cavacii and the blooms virtually of the Sargentianum. Now this is quite a lot of growth on this plant too. It'll come down. Let's see these growths there. There's 1, 2, 3 there. Another one there. And next year's new growth there. I think I'm getting a bit too near with the camera, aren't I? But that's a lovely plant, that one. Fragmapedium Verenas. Now this is a real strange one as names go, and the name I've got on this is Fragmapedium warsawixianum, and you can see the spike there. There's nothing happening at the top, it's slowly developing, but as regards the names, it's ridiculous. It was originally classed as a Caudatum with a variety of warsawixianum, or it was warsawixianum with a variety of wallacei. But now it all seems to be conglomerated into one name, Humboldtii, although all the flowers on them are, well, they're not totally different, but they're all different colours. The Humboldtii being sometimes a very, very dark colour, and the Caudatum being very light colour. So where do we go with these? What do we call it? I can only call it what's on the label, but they are strange things. So that's, according to my label, is Fragmapedium warsawixianum. And we have one growing up here, which is it's another grande, but it's a 4N grande. It's got 2 growths on it at the moment, and plenty of little growths around the bottom. As you can see them coming on nicely. So that's okay. It's nothing to shout home about, but it's coming along nicely. And this one is another variation of grande. This is Fragmapedium grande macrochilium, which has a very much bigger flower than the others. And this is doing okay. It's a 3 growth plant, hasn't done anything yet. It was nearly dead 3 or 4 years ago, but we've managed to bring it round and looking very nice now. So I'm hopeful of that either next year or the year afterwards. And this is Fragmipedium Cardinality. This wasn't doing too well when I got it, and but it's sent this new growth up now, which is very nice. But it looks like it's ready for a repot because it's starting to grow out of the medium there, and I think it's working itself. It's working itself a bit loose. So that I might do that just at the end of this video. Well, we'll move away from the Fragmapediums now, but I'll leave you with this one. I can't go without putting this one on. The Fragmapedium richter coming out. I think it's another 2 buds on the top there, so that'll be beautiful when it gets 3 on. A multi-growth plant, and always sending up new shoots. So this is one I'm really pleased with. Fragmapedium richter. Well, we'll just finish up, like I said, by repotting this Cardinality. These are absolutely beautiful little flowers, these. So we'll see what's happening. This has been on the drip system for 2 or 3 months. I haven't had it out. I don't know what the roots are doing because they weren't doing much when I put it in, I remember that. So we'll see what they're like now. I might not be doing much now. It's stuck in the pot. So that's a good sign. Doesn't want to come out. Here it comes. Oh. Well, what can I say? Roots weren't very good when I put it in, but just have a look at them now. So it's ready for a repot, this one. There's the roots, all looking very nice. Stand back a bit, then you can get the full Monty as it is. So I'll just have a good look at the root system, see if there's any bad ones on, and then I'll repot it. So that's another first for the drip system, doing very well. Well, I've repotted it now, and that should be okay for another 12 months. I didn't show the repotting, but I think you've seen enough of me doing that at the moment. But one thing, when I took it out of the pot and I was having a look through the medium, there was a couple of little earthworms in it. And I remember, and it must be, more than 3 or 4 years ago, I did put some earthworms in a pot. I don't know whether it was this one or not. Well, it couldn't have been this one because I've only just got the plant 12 months ago. So anyhow, I put them all back in, the earthworms there, because they're notorious for eating bacteria and fungi. So they should keep anything at bay. Anyhow, that's about all for today, so thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate all the subscriptions. In fact, I appreciate everything. So thanks very much, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.